Hola, hola. It's your girl Erica from America. Welcome to the Confidence Chronicles podcast. This podcast is all about helping you stand in who you are. Stop giving a fuck what people think about you. Start standing as your fully expressed self. As you are, as is, there is no filter needed. You are fucking awesome, and I am here to remind you. I'm a confidence coach, and I'm a bold stand for confidence, and I cannot wait to dig into today's episode with you. Hello, my love. Welcome to the Confidence Feels Like Shit audiobook sneak peek series. So in the next coming episodes, I'm going to be sharing with you snippets of my audiobook. If you love this podcast, which you listen to, you are going to love the audiobook. It is 6 hours of me going off script, swearing, saying all the things in order for you to rebuild your self-confidence, own who you are, claim your throne like the queen that you is, all the things. So I hope you enjoy this. It is Confidence Feels Like Shit audiobook. Chapter 8, The 5 C's. Create. We're halfway through the 5 C's and we've arrived at the most important step. Okay, I feel like I've said this for every step, but seriously, it's all so imperative when it comes to practicing confidence. The reason why create is so important, however, is because it's the step that tangibly moves you towards your goals. Create is about taking aligned, creative action. It's about becoming resourceful and innovative. When you create, the actions you take are in alignment with your choices, your emotions, and your feelings. What you're creating needs to feel good, exciting, and inspiring. This is why step 3 of the practice isn't simply called action. Anyone could take action, but action just for the sake of action is not useful. It's not going to change your world. It's not going to help you live with vitality and purpose. We live in a world where we're constantly trying to do something, to hustle hard and be high-achieving action takers. It seems like we're always taking action towards something. You may find that you get frustrated or even burnt out, and you still don't get the results you want. If this is happening, it's likely because the action you're taking isn't in alignment with what you really want to create. In fact, it's actually counterproductive. In this step, I want to invite you to move away from the idea of just taking massive action and doing shit just for the sake of doing it. And I want you to make sure that everything you're doing is aligned to your values. If it's aligned to your purpose, then this is aligned action taking. I once heard American speaker and spiritual teacher Abraham Hicks speak on this topic. They mentioned that taking one step in aligned, purposeful action is like taking 1,000 steps towards that which you want to create for yourself. Whereas you could take 1,000 unaligned actions and work really hard on the doing, and still it wouldn't even equate to the impact of that one step you took in aligned action. Create is a better word than action to explain what you're doing in step 3, because the truth is, you may not even know what the next clear step is. Sometimes the things you need to do may not even be available or obvious to you yet. So, you create it. You get to create a way to make it happen. You get to create the opportunity. You may have to create a new solution or become resourceful in the way you go about accomplishing something. And so while action can be very narrow in its meaning, create opens your mind to find a different angle, to find a different way, to create an opportunity, create new results, instead of finding reasons why you can't make it happen for yourself. However, when you create, it allows you the opportunity to innovate and step into your make it happen creator vibes. Small steps lead to big changes. Create is about you making moves towards what you want and taking the small steps required to get there. Did you hear that? Yes, the small steps. You see, when you start making empowering choices towards creating confidence and making your dreams a reality, the decisions you make usually feel pretty massive. Meaning, you're usually faced with something big and it can feel really overwhelming when it comes to how you're actually going to make it happen. The how is actually a number of small actions that are going to help you conquer the overwhelm. As the phrase says, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Taking small steps towards the big thing you're trying to achieve not only helps you get to the end, but you do so with less stress and more momentum. The first 3 steps in the practice of confidence morph into 2 major moves. Choice directly followed by action. Courage pops in there quickly to give you a little bit of boldness so that the fear doesn't stop you. One of the biggest mistakes I see my clients make at this point is that they have a massive goal or big vision, and they feel so anxious about how they're ever going to accomplish it because they're so focused on the bigness of it all. Guess what happens when you're overwhelmed and anxious? Nothing. Procrastination and self-doubt kicks in, and the what-if gremlin ends up at the control panel of your mind. The most powerful and effective antidote to procrastination is simply to create. All you have to do is take one small aligned action to make the little move towards the thing you're trying to create. You want to finally launch your business? Jump on social media and tell your audience. You want to get fitter and healthier? Join the gym or book a session with that personal trainer. You want to make better food choices? Go shopping for a shopping cart full of fruit and veggies. You want to run your first event? Find the venue or book the date in your calendar. Now, these things may seem small or inconsequential, but what happens when you do these small steps is that they create a snowball effect. You're moving, you're in aligned action. And as long as you commit to moving forward, things will happen. Nothing happens when you do nothing. I mean, it seems obvious. But when we aren't taking the steps towards the things we want, no wonder we don't achieve the end results. Say you join the gym and you have a session with your new personal trainer on Monday. You do your first workout and you start to feel energized and excited about this goal to become healthier. This leads you to start thinking about your food choices, which then leads you to clean out your pantry and go food shopping. You may start walking every morning. You plan out a healthy meal roster. Maybe you add another gym session that week, and before you know it, you're feeling fitter. You have more energy and you're feeling really good about yourself. These little steps compound into the result of you being consistent and actually taking repetitive, aligned action towards the end goal. The key to all of this is momentum. We can have positive momentum where we're taking small actions towards what we want to create, or we can have negative momentum where we spiral into inaction and overwhelm, and the overwhelm makes us even more overwhelmed. The small steps will pay off in the long run, and most importantly, they will help you build consistency and movement towards what you want. This is what it looks like when you don't step into create. When you stop creating, you stop taking action, and you end up further away from achieving your goals. Here are some of the things you may experience. Burnout and hustle fatigue. This is the doing just to do. Taking a bunch of action as opposed to aligned action can lead to fatigue, stress, and burnout. If you don't have your vision in mind, then why are you doing all of these things? This will actually go against what you're trying to create and will leave you feeling like you still have so much to do. It's that I'm always so busy vibe, when the reality is you're not being productive at all. Loss of momentum. Combined with a lack of energy, this is when your actions are not paying off. You may have been taking action that led you nowhere fast, and now you're exhausted, and you can't be fucked to take action anymore. You're out of alignment, your energy levels plummet, and you may feel like, what is the point of even trying? Comparison. Not enoughness kicks in here. You look around at everyone's accomplishments, or worse, their social media highlight reel, thinking that they've got it all together and you're so far behind in comparison. While you sit there watching and judging them, you're actually doing nothing towards reaching your goals. Okay, if you want to hear more, head to thequeenofconfidence.com, click on Order My Book. You can download the audiobook version right now. It also comes with an accompanying PDF. So you've got literally the notes that are inside of the book in this free PDF. You've got the practice of confidence. You can write, you can print it, you can get to working on creating your confidence now. It is also available on Audible if you use Audible, or you can head to the website, queenofconfidence.com, click on Audiobook, and you can listen to the audiobook. Thank you so much for listening. I so appreciate your ears, your time, your energy, and your attention. Please do me a favor and head over to Apple iTunes, subscribe so that you don't miss an episode. Share this episode with a sister who you know needs to hear it. And if you feel called to, leave me a review. I'd love to know what you think about the podcast. I'd love to know how this information is helping you change your world. Thank you so much for being here. I know that there are many podcasts you could listen to, and I really appreciate you listening to mine. Have a gorgeous week, honey.